Hello, Nicola Spurling here, and welcome back to my channel. Are trans people being censored? Am I being censored? That's the topic of today's video, and if you don't know what I mean, stick around, we're going to chat about it in just a second. So why am I bringing this up now? I posted a video. It wasn't the last video, it wasn't the video before that, it was the video before I left on my trip. You may have seen it. I had to post it 3 times because I was having trouble getting it uploaded in a format that was going to be legally acceptable, and it ended up being taken down by YouTube. So let me explain a little bit about what happened here. I put out a video about a sign waving event where a transphobe wearing a J.K. Rowling billboard talking about gender ideology showed up at one of my events.
What was your name?
My name's Billboard Chris.
Started harassing me and my volunteers.
Trying to keep 6 feet.
Yep. So get it. So why don't you just keep that?
Spinorama.
And then threatened to return the following day for another sign waving event that I was doing. So I reached out to my friends and family and everyone in the community, including my political rivals, and everyone showed up to combat hate, to stand up against hate, and to show this person that transphobia is not acceptable in the place where I live, which is Coquitlam.
Putting partisan politics aside, the Liberal and NDP candidates joined the BC Greens' Nicola Spurling in a display of solidarity.
I wasn't expecting it to happen either yesterday or today, but he's here. I'm calm, collected, and I really appreciate having the support. There's so many people here today supporting me, and that's absolutely amazing to see.
We had a ton of supporters out there, but he did his thing, walked around with his billboard, and at the end of it, I found footage of me online posted by both him, Chris Elston, and by someone named John Southern. John Southern is not his real name. It's an alias. He can be traced back to neo-Nazi groups in the 90s all the way up until the present. I had to speak with the police because he was harassing me. He called me 14 times in one night, most of it within an hour. I had to file a police report, but unfortunately the police didn't know his identity, so they couldn't get in contact with him. So my video was taken down because of a legal threat that John Southern made towards YouTube, and YouTube caved. Now, I don't know exactly why that happened. There was a whole lead up to this where I had used footage that Chris Elston had shot and that John Southern had shot and that local media had shot in combination with my own footage to tell a story. That's something that is allowed under fair use, or as we refer to it in Canada, fair dealings. So I'm allowed to use that footage as long as it tells a story and as long as it's not the only footage being used, and that's exactly what I did. I included John Southern's watermark. I included the information about all of the people that had contributed footage, whether that was Global, whether that was CBC, Chris Elston, John Southern. I compiled that all into this video, which you can find on Facebook if you're interested in watching it. I did post it to my Facebook page, Nicola E. Spurling. The video ended up getting a fair amount of attention early on, but like I said, because of these difficulties that I was having, I had to upload it 3 times. Then I received a complaint that there was a copyright issue and the video was hidden for a while. I disputed that with YouTube. YouTube then replaced the video and said we actually view this as being part of fair use, which I had said it was. So the video was back up for a little while. Then a number of days later I received another email saying that the video had been taken down because of a legal dispute, and I wasn't given any more information and I wasn't given any more opportunities to appeal, so that video is taken down. Now, I'm not a big channel. I make maybe a few cents on the videos that I post. So this really isn't a big deal in terms of a monetary issue. It's somewhat of a big deal in terms of my consistency. I want to be able to provide you with weekly uploads and videos that you can enjoy on a weekly basis. But as far as the message, that's the important thing to me. I want to be able to do what's right, and I want to be able to highlight the things that happen in my community, all of that support that the trans community received. That's what I wanted to highlight in that video. It was this huge good news story. And like I said, if you want to watch that video, it is on my Facebook page. But it was getting a fair amount of attention on YouTube, and unfortunately YouTube stopped that and didn't want people to see it because they caved to this neo-Nazi. So this is where the whole censorship situation comes in, and this is where I'd like to hear your feedback, because I know that censorship happens to trans people. For instance, I know that trans people are often told that we need to shut up and take it, and that we need to accept that this is just how the world is, and that discrimination isn't as bad as we think it is, and that it's not actually hate when we say something is hate. So there's a lot of times when you could call it censorship, you could call it tone policing, whatever you want to call it, but trans people are silenced on a regular basis, and that's something that we push back against. So this video is me pushing back a little bit. Obviously, I don't have the weight to push back against YouTube too much as a small content creator, but I do want to bring this issue to light because I know that this is not the only instance where trans people are silenced. So like I said, I want to hear from you. What are some instances that you've encountered where you as a trans person have been silenced, or where a trans person that you know has been silenced, or maybe where you were complicit in silencing a trans person and you've now seen the error of your ways and you've become a better ally? I think this is a really important conversation to have, and obviously I'm using my personal experience as a way of starting this conversation, but I don't want that to be where it ends, because I don't want my YouTube channel and this conversation to be all about these two transphobes that show up at my events and harass me, because this is just a symptom of a much broader problem. And it's a problem that we all know exists. It's a problem that we as trans people are tackling actively on a regular basis. But I don't think it's a problem that many people in the cis community understand. And if you don't watch my videos on a regular basis, cis just means that you're not trans. If you're not transgender, you're cisgender. Many cis people don't understand the struggles that trans people face, and I want to be able to highlight that. So like I said, if you have some examples that you'd like to share with me, I'd love to read them. Please leave them in the comments down below, and maybe I'll make a video out of that as well. I mentioned this in some of my other videos. This has been a very tiring experience for me, coming out of an election, and I've had a lot of difficult things happening in my life at the moment as well. So I've been trying to put out content that I enjoy making and that I think that you'll enjoy seeing. I really did enjoy making that original video, so like I said, check it out on my Facebook if you'd like, because I'm really proud of that work. And I also really enjoy my travel content, but I'm also moving back to having my usual trans related content on my YouTube channel. So this is me dipping my foot back in the water of my trans related content, trying to bring you something that you enjoy, because I know that the vast majority of you prefer this kind of content over my travel content. But like I said, I just needed to put out something that made me feel good in the meantime, because I just didn't have the energy to put out this content at the same time that I was dealing with transphobes and traveling and dealing with the end of the election and everything else that's going on in my life. So if this is the kind of content that you enjoy, please hit the like button. If you want to see more content like this, please hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you get notified every time I post a new video. And until next time, have a great day.